Holy moly, so a field goal in that one, 23-22. Squeezing them out, and we'll be hoping they can repeat that dose in the first grade. Thank you so much, Les. But yeah, they really need to win today, really, to cement that position in the top 5.
Yeah, not only to cement the position in the top 5, but to get them back on track, mate. So they've a month or,
They've lost 3 out of the last 4. Last 2 they've lost, so yeah.
Yeah, that may coincide with the fact that I think they've lost their captain coach has been suspended for a few weeks, and that certainly doesn't help.
And while they've been out of form, other teams like Kiama, until yesterday, they've won 5 in a row. Shell Harbour have been moving along at a rate of not scoring points hand over fist. And Gerringong, well, they came off the back of a few losses, and they've managed to win this weekend, winning yesterday 44-24. Jamboree Super is defeating the Knights 20-18. Now we've got Nowra-Bomaderry taking the field. They'll be running, well, I always get caught out on this, Danny, don't I? Because they're lining up at the north end, but who's to say whether they're going to run that way? No, they always switch around when they hear me talking about it.
They do.
I'm sure they do.
The dogs are on the field.
Here comes the home side, Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs, running out from the southwest corner there, and the ground bathed in sunshine. It is a glorious day. The wind favouring neither team here. It's going to blow across the ground, so it's all going to might be like last week with that howling southerly we had at Shell Harbour, Denny.
No, mate, it was interesting, wasn't it? Made a big difference to goal kicking. Unfortunately for Jamboree, it didn't come down to goal kicking. There was a bit of a blitz last week with the
They were, and the wind actually, I would have thought it was
the Sharks.
The Sharks ended up scoring 28 points into the wind in the first half, so a very bizarre game as well. So the shaking of hands taking place out in the centre, and it looks like they are going to run the ball facing. So, no, they're not. They switched around. Nowra-Bomaderry just defending the southern Ulladulla end of the ground, and then the home side, Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs, will be defending the Nowra-Wally or Fisherman's Paradise end of the ground.
That's close enough. Max, that grandstand looks fantastic. There was apparently a grant that the club received. The scoreboard. There was a grant that the club received. So, congratulations to the club. It's all good to see that the old and the new are joining forces over on that hill.
Will Drury is our referee today. He's resplendent in the Indigenous colours. He's got the pink shirt on with the big Aboriginal icon on the back. It looks like an eagle to me, or a falcon or something. It's probably more an eagle. And one of our touch judges is Ryan McAuliffe. Not sure who the other one is today. We'll try and find that out. And Ralphie's going to get us a handle on who number 15 is for the Bulldogs and 10 and 17 for the Jets. As we're about to get underway here, and I haven't got your tips yet today, Danny. Who's going to win?
The Jets, Max.
The Jets today, okay, yeah. I'm going to go with the home side. I think the Bulldogs might have an upset in them. As the kick-off bounces twice before it's picked up and handed off to Big Ben Lahane, and he scarpers forward. He's grounded a great tackle there. 3 of the Bulldogs smothered him and brought him to ground 10 metres out from his own line. Then Kirk Quinlan has the first dummy half snipe of the game. Gets perilously close to the touchline before he's dragged down about 2 metres short of it. And did well to stay in the field of play there. Now the Jets bring it out there 30 metres out from their own line, making reasonably easy yards in this very first set here. Comes out to Ben Lahane again. He takes his second hit up and gets to within 5 metres of halfway centre field. 0-all here at Bill Andruski Molly Mokova. And kicking on the 4th tackle there, Zach Blackman looking for a 40-20. It's heading towards the touchline, and Geordie Thomas goes back there and managed to handle it. It's the fullback, Laponi Waka, sorry. He's managed to feel that just before it went out. It wasn't a bad kick, though.
Yeah, it was a good kick. A kick early and turn these big Bulldogs back around a bit. Maybe the way that they're going to play all day.
But yeah, it was also a plan from just inside the 40, looking for that 40-20. So now the Bulldogs swing it back to the right-hand side. And the second man play finds Arthur Scott. And Scott moves forward to within 2 metres of the 30-metre line. They come out to the right-hand side now. The ball is swung across and finds the other big front rower there. He's the one we don't have a number for, I think.
That's right.
It might be Taylor Clarkson. Oh no, it was for Paul Adler.
Yep.
He's tackled just short of the 40-metre line. There's a big tackle from Ben Lahane, crushing one of the Bulldogs players into the ground, 12 metres short, but crushing for a little bit too long. He didn't get off him in time, and there's the first penalty of the game. Going to the Bulldogs, 12 metres short of halfway. 20 metres in from touch, and Jeff Johnson lines up and kicks the touch and finds it 3 metres in to the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets territory. And this is the first attacking opportunity, and the tap will be taken by number 3, Blake Mackey. He's taken the field in number 3, but I thought he was playing in number 5, not too worried.
Yeah.
Steen Lofts throws his hands in the air at the dummy half, says, I want a quick play the ball. Eventually gets it. Jeff Johnson, tried to get the ball out to the centre square. He was taken a little bit high in the tackle, and he dropped the ball forward. Referee said no, the tackle was fine, and the mistake means Nowra-Bomaderry Jets come up with the ball 20 metres out from their own line. That was a solid bit of contact.
It was. It looked a little high, as I said, Max, but I think actually the player slipped as he came to the tackle. So.
Okay, so it ended up being across the chin rather than across the chest where it was intended.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the Jets find their way over halfway now, 15 metres in from the eastern touchline. It comes out to Zach Black. No, Ben Lahane taking it forward there. He gets 12 metres into the Bulldogs' territory. Quinlan looks to the left, goes to the right, hands it out to Tyson Simpson. He grubbers a kick in. Oh, Lapani Waka. He played it off his feet into his hands, and then he was taken in a high tackle. He didn't go down, but he's holding onto the headgear. He's lucky he's got the headgear on. It's probably holding his head together.
Yeah, he doesn't look too well there, Max. It was
down on his haunches now.
Yeah.
They didn't miss him there over on the right-hand side. It might have been Mark Brandon there. I know it might have been Kieran Brandon over on the right wing chasing that through. I think he might have thrown a step in and sort of lost him off balance, and now Waka has gone down on his knees and hands and trying to recover his breath there. The penalty is going to be given about 20 metres out from their own line, 5 metres in from the eastern touchline. The ref's going to allow play to go on as the trainer calls for assistance for Waka. Let's hope he's not too bad. He's getting to his feet now. 100%.
We saw in the game a couple of weeks ago with him, Max, that he was actually got a head knock and he came off, didn't come back on. So he's all right today.
Well, the previous game, about 6 weeks ago, he took about 3 high shots, didn't he?
Yeah.
He kept on playing, so he's obviously as half nails, but let's just hope that he's not feeling the impact of that anyway. The penalty kick has taken the Bulldogs 12 metres into the Nowra half. Now they take it up through Arthur Scott, and he gets tackled 25 metres out now. A chance for the Bulldogs. They dropped the ball last time they were down here. They'll be hoping to hold on to it. Paul Adler down a wide-ish blind side, gets to within 20 and comes down to the left before he's tackled. Now they come out of the right-hand side. Jeff Johnson fires across. That's a terrible pass. It was too far in front of Nick Salafia, and the ball's gone down, and twice they've been in this half, Danny, and twice they have made mistakes. And the scrum will go down with a narrow ball and loose and feed 22 metres out from the line.
Correct, Max. So we're just driving Nathaniel Morrison crazy. He had 2 penalties, a great opportunity. Both times within 30 metres from their line and dropped the ball. It's just a waste of possession and need to be more respectful of the football.
Yeah, you can understand them wanting to spin the ball wide, but the pass that Jeff Johnson threw was just a little bit too far in front of Salafia. And it went down. Now we see Steve Brandon getting the ball, second pass off the ruck, off the back of the scrum, and stepping up his right foot and making it to within 10 metres of halfway. That was a good run before he was eventually tackled and put to the ground. Now another blindside run from dummy half gets them up to halfway, and they're making metres nice and easily. We've got Cruz Ture coming on in 15 for the Bulldogs side. Thank you very much, Savon Ralph, for picking that one up.
Ray Willen, 17 for the Jets, man.
Okay, now the Bulldogs have, Nowra-Bomaderry Jets are now on the 30-metre line, 15 metres in from the eastern touchline. A couple of tackles up their sleeve. This is really their first chance to go on the attack as they swing it wide and fast to the left. Oh, the pass came off Brandon and it bounced up into the arms of Zach Kershaw. And Kershaw did well to grab that. Now it's the last tackle, and Brandon takes a little jump from dummy half, and then he kicks across. It might have come off the side of his boot. It might have been intentional, but Lapani Waka went up, grabbed the ball, dropped it on the way down. And what's the referee Will Drury going to call here? And knocked it on in the air, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a jet speed about 10 metres out, Max.
Okay, so they're going to get a repeat set at the Bulldogs and a real chance to exert some pressure there. So
you're right about that. You're right about that kick, Max. It was actually Mark Brandon. It came off the right hand, the edge of his boot, and made it more difficult for the outside backs for the Bulldogs to take.
Well, yeah, because it sort of didn't travel truly in the air. No. The ballistics of it all went crazy because it came off the right. So now the scrum goes down with the Jets defeated. They're only 10 metres out, and this is a real chance for them to exert some pressure 6.5 minutes into the game here. We're here today thanks to the South Coast Medical Service Aboriginal Corporation. They go blindside off the scrum and end up only 2 metres short than Nowra-Bomaderry Jets. They'll be banking to put some points on the board here early. It comes out through Kirk Quinlan, and he throws a bullet pass out to the left-hand side, and they get tackled there through, it's hard to see who's over there, Santino Battagliolo perhaps, and then they take it up through Matt Ruin, and Matt Ruin gets to within 5 metres. Now he's dragged back in the shade of the right-hand upright. It's 0-0 here at Bill Andriski, Molly very slow play the ball. They've lost all the momentum they had, and that's a terrible pass from dummy half. And it's forced Trent Waldron to go backwards and reach up high to get it. And now he manages to get the ball out to Kieran Brandon on the right wing, and he's tackled about the same place where they had the very first tackle of this set.
Yep, straight back where we started from.
2.2 tackles left. Tyson Simpson fires it across the Blackman. There is a crossfield kick, and there's no mark out here for the Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs. It's bounced up into the arms of Mark Brandon. He takes it over, puts the ball down to score. After 7 minutes, it is 4-0 to the Milton-Ulladulla Nowra-Bomaderry Jets.
It's a great kickbacks, but I don't think Mark Brandon was actually ready for it to come across. He had to wait for it to bounce. It bounced straight into his arms. Nothing that the Bulldogs could do. He runs around to improve the opportunity for, I believe, having a shot at goal for himself. So obviously, look after the kicker if you are the kicker.
He would, but it was actually turned out to be quite a good kick.
Yeah, it was a good kick. It was just I don't think he was expecting it, and he didn't read it as well.
No one told him it was going to be on, but the kick had managed to go over the head of the Bulldogs winger, and that's where Brandon was waiting, and Mark Brandon that is, and he managed to score about 15 metres to the left of the uprights to give the Jets a 4-point lead after 7 minutes. And Mark Brandon scoring off the, I think it was Zach Blattner kick. Off the Blattner in playing in the half-back role, but he was about 2 passes off the ruck there. Mark Brandon, very distinctive kicking style. He squats down, moves in slowly, and belts it right over the block here. Bill Andriski, Mollymook Oval. He has 1 from 1. He scored all the points. It's 6-0 to the Jets over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for the Bulldogs to have got away to a much better start than this, Max. They had plenty of 2 penalties, got them back in. 30 metres out from the line and just dished the football back out. The first real opportunity for the Jets to take the football forward. They went across field and went back to where they started from, and then a good crossfield kick and 6-0. So the Dogs need to get more respect for the football and stay in the fight. That's going to be the key today.
I was lucky they had a good kick there because the first 4 tackles amounted
pretty ordinary. Yeah,
set, did they? The kick goes deep into Nowra-Bomaderry Jets territory from the kick-off, and then they bring it out. Now they're only about 25 metres out from their own line. The ball gets taken up there by Ryan James, and Ryan James tackled midfield. Steen Lofts playing hooker today for the Bulldogs, gets involved in that tackle, as does Nick Goodman, the tackling machine. Skipper for the Bulldogs. There's another big hit in the centre field by Harry Myers. Oh, they slammed the Jets player on his back there. That was Matt Ruin. Took that up and probably wished he doesn't now. Kirk Quinlan has a kick out of just over halfway. Forces Lapani Waka to go back to almost his own line, well over in the corner there. And that's a good kick chase from a good kick.
Again, early on the count, Max. I think it was from tackle 4. So it's obviously a preconceived tactic to turn this Bulldogs team around.
Yeah, something Brian Connors has cooked up for them with the big forwards, the likes of Paul Adler and Arthur Scott. Maybe it will be aiming to tie them out during the game, but the Bulldogs are making good meterage here. They get up to the 40-metre line. Ball's paid back to hooker Steen Lofts, and Steen Lofts goes in the blind side, tackled by his opposite number. I'm sorry, it was handled out to Sean Deves there, tackled by Kirk Quinlan. Now it comes out to the halfback Nick Salafi. He goes for a dummy half run. Halfback playing like a hooker. Gets 25 metres out from the Jets line. Comes back to Nick Goodman, and now it's the big bomb, and that's gone almost straight up in the air, that one. He's kind of carrying it across field, and it's been beautifully taken by Steve Brandon. That ball went about 90 metres in the air, Danny. That was a huge kick.
Only went about 10 metres forward,
yeah.
So about 9 metres in the air. So.
It was a great take by Steve Brandon. So now the Jets managed to defuse the bomb, defuse the situation. 3 times the Bulldogs have been down their end, and they've come up with nothing every time. And now they'll take it forward, the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets.
Bring the football out with a little bit more oomph as they take the ball about 12 metres, 15 metres short of halfway. This Bulldogs pack seems to be pretty concerned about the... Yep, here we go again with an early kick on...
Okay, now that's the kick there by... that was Tyson Simpson there. It went high and wide and not at all handsome because it's gone out, and he kicked that one from just inside his own half. So now this is a real opportunity for the Bulldogs. They're going to have the turnover about 20 metres in from the eastern touchline. And sideline referee, you're over on that side, mate. How's it looking from the eastern touchline? Oh, you'll be all right, mate. I'm sure. How's the vocal roll boys crowd behind you? They're behaving themselves, hopefully. Now Arthur Scott takes it forward, and his tackle, that's a beautiful tackle. Right round the bootlaces there by Matt Dykstra. They're getting out to the right-hand side. Big Arthur Scott ploughs forward, brushes to a side, brushes another one, and then gets an offload out. That's a great run. He gets the pass out to Paul Adler, and Adler gets... They're only 10 metres out now. It comes to the right-hand side. Gives it to Nick Salafia. Salafia at speed, at pace, steps off his right again, and goes in under the post. Wasn't he quick? He was liquid lightning there.
It was. It turned the clock back, and Nick Salafia will be well into his 40s, Max, and it was a beautiful bit of football. Started off with Arthur Scott, who gave a nice offload to Harry Myers, who looked like he was going to get an offload from dummy half. He got the ball to the halfback, Nick Salafia. He's
hold on. This touch judge has come in here and said the ball has gone forward. The final pass to Salafia has been called forward, so let's wind that all back.
Okay.
Take back everything that we said, admit that we're human and we made a mistake, and it's still 6-0 to the Jets. Scrum goes down with the Jets to have the feed, and gee, that's a get-out-of-jail-free card. That one.
It took forever for the call, Max, because the crowd and the team were celebrating the score under the post before the
everybody was walking back ready for the kick-off. Yeah. The Jets were walking back to watch the ball go sailing over the conversion, but now they're feeding a scrum and they're winning it. Comes out to the right, and gee, Steve Brandon's good when he takes the ball up off scrums there. He's so fast. Almost always beats the first tackle. He's 15 metres out from his own line, 20 metres to the right of the uprights. Comes across to the right-hand side now, a fairly wide blind side. He gets it out to his brother Kieran Brandon on the right. And he's tackled about 5 metres in from touch, about 30 metres out. Putting their own line. It comes out to Big Ben Lahane, and he ploughs forward before he's tackled. Grass did a great tackle there. The only way to take down those big men is right around the ankles, and that's exactly what the Bulldogs have done there through Steenloff, the hooker. Comes out to the left-hand side now. Comes out to Ryan James. Playing out there in the centres. Comes out to him, and he's tackled midfield. They're 15 metres short of half over. They look for an early kick. Yes, they will again. Now they plough this one down to the right-hand side as the wind got hold of that one. Lapani Waka chases it and gets it 25 metres out and runs back at pace. Oh, and he's dropped the ball, bringing the ball back. And so the scrum will go down 35 metres out from the Bulldogs line, and it's a terrible mistake to make on the first tackle.
Yeah, it's every kick has gone to that eastern side, Max, onto that wing, and Lapani's brought the ball back quite hard. In that situation, the early kick paid dividends yet again. They're going to be doing this all day. The winger needs to come back and give a bit more support to the fullback, because obviously the Jets have got this as a plan, and so far it's worked well.
Is that 4 or 5 times they kicked on the fourth tackle?
Yeah.
And it seems to have worked for them almost every time.
Yeah, the only time it didn't was when the kick went out on the full, but obviously they had this plan, and this is not exactly what the Dogs want to do. Is it the Jets on the attack straight away from the scrum?
Right across the field from the left-hand side. I'm not sure what went on there. There was a big yell from the crowd, something that the club president Todd was saying over the ground announcing. And meanwhile, the Jets are now only 15 metres out by virtue of an incisive run in from Santana Battagliolo. And we've got Zach Blattman running across, showing the ball outside, showing the ball inside, eventually getting tackled only 5 metres out. Steve Lofton makes the tackle. They go to a wide blind side on the right-hand side. The kick goes in from Tyson Simpson. It rebounds off either Bulldogs player's feet and then comes to the left-hand side. And Brandon picks it up again. He's got some pace. And he's running in broken field there. Shrugs off a second tackle and gets taken only 5 metres out, and the ball comes back to the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets, and they're quite able to score. And I think it was Big Ben Lahane, the front row, who's crashed over.
Yeah, it's just pure weight of pushing the ball forward, Max. It was a short pass. There was nothing real adventurous in the Jets' attack. The kick that gave the football back to them, and the scrum gave them good opportunity, and it was just a matter of short pass, and we think then you're saying it's Ben Lahane scored what is probably a pretty simple try for a front row. It just barged across.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it was Lahane who went through it and then given a short ball, and gives the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets a 10-0 lead. What have we? 23 minutes to go in this first half, and gee, after the try was disallowed, 3 or 4 minutes ago, that's a big turnaround, Denny.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Dogs didn't need. One of the problems here, one of the good things, I guess, is if you play the Jets, if you can keep them down, they can sort of, in some cases, over the last few years, we've seen that they lose a little bit of enthusiasm, and that makes them even more unpredictable. If Mark Brandon kicks this and they're 12-0 up 17 minutes into the game, anything's possible as far as their confidence is concerned. Brandon from right in front
knocks it over. 2 from 2.
2 from 2 and 12-0. Max, the reason that there was a bit of a call around the ground was that Horn has beaten Pacquiao in the fight, and is now the new world champion, and Manny Pacquiao, 11 times champion over 8 divisions, has been knocked over. So massive beat Queensland a few minutes ago.
It goes to show what can happen when you undervalue and underestimate your opponent.
Or you overvalue your own ability, which is obviously what's happened. So congratulations, Horn, what a wonderful opportunity, the new world champion in boxing.
Can't wait to get home and watch the replay of that one. Now, Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs kicking off again. They're getting a lot of kick-off practice in this game, more than they would have wanted. Nowra-Bomaderry get to take it up 15 metres out from their own line. And taking it up to Ryan James, and he gets 20 metres out now. Pep Penland moves into dummy half. Steve Ross, the hooker from Nowra-Bomaderry, is getting through a power of defence here. He would make 20 or 30 tackles already. We're only 18 minutes in. Nowra-Bomaderry get out to within 35 metres out from their own line. Looking to switch it across to the left-hand side, but they look for another kick again here, Danny.
Well, it seems to have been the plan so far, Max. The defence from the Bulldogs have been quite good. They actually, here we go again, early kick once again. This time they'll come to the
that one's gone high, and Lepani Waka's right under it, about 30 metres out from his own line, takes it safely and runs forward a million miles an hour. I love the way he taps the line after he's taken the ball, but he's dropped the ball again. The referee said this one has gone backwards. Lucky for Waka, because that would have been 2 from 2 in the mistakes department. And now there's a bit of
penalty offside, I believe.
Or a strip.
Yeah.
No, so it's pulling that Waka did have the ball drop, but it was because of a strip, and there was 2 people involved in the tackle. He was playing an advantage there, Will Drury. So Jeff Johnson will tap the kick to the left-hand side. And sideline Ralphie, how are conditions there on the eastern side now? Okay, yeah, well, it hasn't been a lot of rain around, but maybe it just retains a bit of moisture over there, so watch out for some slippage on the left-hand or eastern side as Sean Deves takes it up for the Bulldogs, looking to broach this gap here. 10-0 tackle they have at the moment. Sorry, it's 12-0 at the moment. The new scoreboard's not working, Danny. I'm confused. Steve Lofts takes it out the hooker to within 20 metres of the Nowra-Bomaderry just line, looking to finally put some points on the board. It comes across to Blake Mackey. Blake Mackey gets that in the right hand. Oh, he's trying to go in himself. He's held and scragged in the tackle. He's only 2 metres out there. The Bulldogs centre. Very slow play the ball here. They've lost all that momentum. They had Harry Myers moving to Dunhalf. Now long cut out pass to Jeff Johnson. He gets an inside ball back into the centres, and they're crash tackled. Only 5 metres out, 10 metres to the left of the upright. Will Drury puts his hand in the air, says last tackle. It's come across to the big number 10, and he's ploughed over and has been held up. Taylor Clark, he ploughed over right underneath the uprights, but he got held up by some last-ditch defence by the Jets. Great online defence there.
Yeah, it was great online defence. It was great defence out here when it looked like Blake Mackey was going to score in the corner.
Yeah, he got scragged down by one arm. He swung around in a tackle that ended up only a metre short. Then the ball came across with a long pass. Jeff Johnson looks for an inside runner. The ball eventually came back to Tyler Clark on the charge, and he got grounded right over the line. He must have been held up because that's a turnover. And now it comes out to the right-hand side for the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets, and they play the ball 15 metres out from their own line. They go to a blind side. Kirk Quinlan feeds it out to, I think that might be Lahane out there, the try scorer, and they've been caught offside. That was good work by Quinlan, the hooker there.
Yep.
He knew they were offside on the blind side, so he directed the play that way. He's earned his team a penalty, which will give them a bit of relief working it out from their own line. Now, that's a great touch finder. He's gone for plenty. That one of the Brandon was Mark Brandon. Fantastic work. And that one's found touch, 15 metres into the Bulldogs' territory. So a great touch finder there, really putting them on the attack. He's big. Ben Lahane, the try scorer, goes in for who was that? His opposite number, Arthur Scott, trying to take him out and missed. Ended up with the momentum almost going over the try line at the other end. Now it comes to Trent Waldron for the Jets, who's numbered here off the bench, but I believe he started the game. He gets within 15 metres of the line on the far-hand side. They've got a huge backline strung out here, the Jets. It comes across with some deep, fast passing. Santino Battagliolo taking midfield. That was a good tackle because they were looking very dangerous there, the Jets. Now they come back, keep going to the left-hand side, and poked through by Zach Blackner. It's gone in goal. It's going to be cleaned up there by, now it's going to be let to go out by Lepani Waka. Getting a little bit carried away there, the Jets, not showing enough patience.
No, that was exactly right, Max. There was an opportunity to go to the left-hand side. They actually had an overlap out here with Steve Brandon. The grubber kick was a poor one, went over the dead ball line, and 7 tackles as the Bulldogs bring the ball out.
Arthur Scott crunched in a big tackle by the number 4 from the Jets there, by Isaac Mumberson. And that was a big tackle. The finger man on a bigger man, and now Blake Mackey has a run down the left-hand side. He's cut them up and beats one and beats another and gets... Oh, he's undone all his good work by dropping the ball 10 metres into Nowra-Bomaderry territory. And he's creating havoc whenever he handles the ball, Blake Mackey.
The problem is they're not holding the football, Max, and just giving the ball back to the Jets. We see Paul Adler come from the field, Max. He used I think it was a mistimed, almost a shoulder charge that went wrong, and he's holding his right arm, doesn't look very well at all.
Oh no, well, Isaac Mumberson now has the ball for the Jets. They're only now 28 metres out. They lead 12-0 with 17 minutes to go in the first half on the brand new scoreboard. Here we're here today thanks to South Coast Medical Service Aboriginal Corporation, excuse me. Be dry and dusty here a bit. Just look over. The Jets go to the right-hand side. Inside runner there. Who's that big Zach? Is that Lahane again? No, it's Ryan James running through a pace, and he's tackled only a metre up. That was a great run.
Yeah, they're big forwards and causing all sorts of problems for the Bulldogs.
They are indeed. Kurt Quinlan now dummy half, although they've slowed up to play the ball here. It comes back to the left to Brandon. Brandon gives that to his brother Mark. Mark now runs wide and then comes back inside, and eventually is claimed by Nick Salafia. And he'll play the ball on the last tackle and play it back to Zach Kershaw. And Zach Kershaw, another slow play the ball. Brandon's gone down. He hasn't got up from taking the tackle yet. He's down on his knees and his elbows, gasping for breath. The trainer runs out there. Will Drury eventually calls time out. He might have been winded there or something in that tackle. Hard to say from here.
It's called time off.
Referee has blown time off. So we have 16:36 left in the first half at Bill Andrisky Mollymook Oval today on Kicks FM Group 7 Rugby League. Thanks to Mollymook Golf Club today, IGA Liquor in Milton, Shoalhaven Hot Water and Elements, Joyce Main Computers and Electrical South Nowra, the Country Clubs in Jordan Basin and Vicentia, and our match day sponsor today, South Coast Medical Service Aboriginal Corporation. Steve Brandon back to his feet. He's going to play the ball to Zach Kershaw. They are 18 metres out there, 16 metres in. From the western touchline. They lead 12-0, the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets, and they're lined out deep again. Zach Blattner, the halfback, pokes the ball through. It's a grubber, but there was an obstruction involved in that. Yeah, he ran right around the back of Ben Lahane there, and you can see that from here.
Yeah, that's amazing, really, Max, because there was no need to do any of that. There's no need to run around behind him as Nick Salafia takes a quick kick.
And he's found touch.
Just 30 metres or 40 metres out, sorry.
No, that's right, just short of halfway. Deceptive because there's a line in front of us that looks like that's all right. He comes to the Bulldogs now to take the tap, and Blake Mackey takes the tap and hands it off to Harry Myers. Oh no, it's the replacement player Peter Lett. He's a big unit as well, Peter Lett. Rumbles forward, gets to the 40, they pass it back to Tyler Clark. Tyler Clark rumbles forward again. There's plenty of rumbling going on here. They've got some big forwards in the Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs. Being held down in the tackle there, the ref says play on. There's another big unit, Harry Myers. He goes forward now. The midfield, only 20 metres out. They did 3 tackles there down the free. They managed to get some good position. And now Bomaderry gets played down in back play as the ball comes across to the right-hand side. Oh, through Nick Salafia. He's going right through them. He's slipping straight through the middle like a hot knife through butter, and he goes into score on a diagonal run about 20 metres in from the western touchline.
Yeah, no need to worry about a forward pass that time, Max. 15-metre run, just a diagonal run, a little dummy, and away we go. It's the big forwards, as you said, that made the difference. Harry Myers and a couple of the other forwards for the Bulldogs led the way on the back of another penalty. So the penalty count run at 4-1 in total over the Bulldogs. And that was a try that not only the team needed, but the crowd needed as well, Max.
Absolutely, and the crowd firing up behind you, their sideline. That was a little bit easy, that one. Now have been defending well up to him. Yeah, he just took a little diagonal run and took 2 steps off his left and then managed to score. And meanwhile, we've got a Jets player. I can't quite see who that one is, Danny Free. He's gone down there. Gone down, he's having some attention taken to him 30 metres out as the kick's about to be taken.
Just a couple of changes to our team sheet, Max. You'll get hold of those. You can see.
So Sean Deeds is actually number 3. Yep. Plenty of changes to this team sheet in the afternoon.
Yeah, there has been.
Lepani Waka taking the kick now. He's about 15 metres to the right of the umpires, looking to convert the Nick Salafia try and to get them within 6 points. And he comes in and strikes it, and it's coming from the right to the left, and he's guided that one over, and it's not a bad kick there. He struck it well. It is 12-6.
Yeah, that's what they needed. They needed to get back involved in the contest, and they've done that now, which is good. Max, just quickly on I know we're talking about other sports, and it's a rugby league thing, but there was the injury to Paul Arblow, I think, was a mistimed shoulder charge. Yesterday we saw a shoulder charge from Sonny Bill Williams. He was sent off for the All Blacks, the first All Black to be sent off in 50 years.
Cost them a test match as well.
50 years.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? I was actually watching that game, and I thought Richard Lowe had been set up for nothing Paul Carrozza in Battle of Brisbane a couple of years ago. But then, anyway, I was obviously wrong.
Okay.
I've been wrong before. It was the early 80s. Tyson Simpson kicks off. His team lead 12-6.
What does that mean?
I'm not entirely sure. And the Bulldogs bring it back at pace and attack it 20 metres out from their own line.
It's the early 80s. If you were there, if you remember them, you weren't there, Mike. Is that the story?
I can't remember a thing.
Okay.
I can't remember what I did this morning.
No, the ball spits out the back.
Yeah, the ball comes out the back, and it's been picked up by Jeff Johnson in broken play. And as often happens when the ball hits the ground, the play had broken down, and he made about 15 easy metres there. Now Steen Lofts fires the ball to the right-hand side to Sean Dees. Sean Dees busts one and gets bust another. He comes to Steve Brandon, the fullback, who did well to get him to the ground because he had some momentum built up then.
Good run, Sean Dees.
The Party Waka at dummy half goes to the right, then moves to the left and hands it out to Mixolafia, the try scorer, and he gets the ball back on the inside to Chure Cruz, I think it is. And he's tackled only 25 metres out. Now Milton-Ulladulla on a chance to go back-to-back here. They swing it across to the right through Johnson, and he comes out to Arthur. He throws a basketball, one-handed pass, which finds the ground, and is well taken in the backfield there by Sean Dees. Now he runs backward, hops in the air, does a right foot step, and then he gets screamed in a tackle by Isaac Mumberson. He's brought the ground 25 metres out on the last tackle there. What will they do here? It comes out to Jeff Johnson. He puts the left foot crossfield bomb, which has gone more sideways than forwards. They jump up in the air to get it on the right wing, Kieran Brandon, and yes, he knocked it forward, I think, into the arms of Mumberson, and he's been called offside. So Bulldogs with a penalty. Some 10 metres out, about 5 metres in from the eastern touchline. They trail 12-6 with 11.5 minutes to go, and they've taken a very quick tap there, and they've run straight at the line. I think that might be Arthur Scott. Arthur Scott's taken about 4 of them to stop him, and the referee said
two-man strip.
A two-man strip. A little bit of desperation there from the Jets, because I think they thought he was going to go over and score them. They had to do something, but obviously it was well before the line, because you can strip if the active try scoring is happening. So they'll take a penalty kick, and feeds it back to Arthur Scott again, and he crunches forward and is tackled 2 metres out from the goalposts. Centre field, 5 tackles to go, 6 points behind. I think they might breach that gap soon. Ball comes back to, would you believe it, Arthur Scott again. He has another one. That's 3 in about 12 seconds. He's had now Steen Lofts on the right-hand side looking for Jeff Johnson. Jeff Johnson fires the pass out. It's gone to big Harry Myers, the number 11, and he's managed to score. It's 12-10 with a kick to come, and an easy kick. It's going to be 12-all very shortly.
This is the experience of Jeff Johnson. Max came from the left-hand side of the play, came around to the other side, made the numbers a little easier. A short pass to Harry Myers, who's been very good in his first half. Actually, it's game on now with a chance for the Penny Worker to level this up with only 10 minutes to go until half time, but that's exactly what the game needed, and now it's going to be interesting the next 10 minutes for both teams.
Sideline Alfie, this home team now getting all fired up with the two tries in 5 minutes to them. Well, it's going to be even Stevens here, well, given this kick goes over like the last one, so it's going to be 12-all shortly.
Sean Dees and Jeff Johnson, but obviously very recent Jets players. Max, I made a big difference so far in this first half, especially Sean Dees. He's a powerful runner.
Also the work of Steen Lofts there, recognising that Johnson was moving from his left to his right. He came across behind him, and it was great work from the dummy half to feed him at pace. Johnson was working at pace. And then, I have to agree, Harry Myers has had a great game in offence so far for the Bulldogs. He's definitely that try. The Party Waka, this is almost from the same place as the last kick.
Yeah, it's almost the same. Well, what it used to be, mound of sand.
Mound of sand, yes. It's the same kicking team. Yeah, this time around. So he'll move in. Eventually move in. Taking a lot of time to concentrate over this one. It is an important kick. He moves in and shapes it beautifully right to left, and it's gone over the post. And we have it all tied up here at Bellendrisky. 9 minutes to go to half time. We hit there thanks to South Coast Medical Service Aboriginal Corporation. 12 ball Danny for your ball game on our hands.
Yes, the ball game on our hands makes it 7 years. This crowd will get fired up now. It's going to be interesting to see how the Jets respond here. A good start to the first 15 or 20 minutes or a half, but they go away a couple of penalties, and as we've seen all year, if you give penalties, too many penalties away, just give opportunities to opposition, and most good teams take them, and the Bulldogs have been able to do that.
Well, also, Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs have stopped dropping the ball.
Yeah, that helps.
That also helps. So the kickoff goes from the Jets down to the right-hand side, bounces up, and also goes backwards. So picked up by Jeff Johnson there, and he brushes off, tries to brush off Kieran Brandon. He comes back at him and tackles him. Gee, went so close to the touchline. 38 metres out from his own line, will play the ball. It swings across to the right-hand side, and there's a good tackle defence there. Matt Dykstra driving the Bulldogs backwards, and I think they forced the error there. No. Players there are calling for a drop ball, but they're saying play on. The ball comes out to the right. Oh, a terrible pass, but it's been beautifully picked up on the right-hand side by the Bulldogs, and they try and flick it out. That was Harry Myers again. He's about 6'3". He had to pick it off his toes. It was fantastic work. Very athletic, and he's made another 15 metres after that. And the referee's saying, go back a couple of metres and play the ball a little bit. He throws his hands in the air and says, okay, I earned all those metres, you're going to rob them off me. Sean Dees had done me half, fires it out here after Scott. This team has really fired up the Bulldogs now that they're a 10-12 ball. Steve Lofts goes from dummy half. His opposite number brings him down, but only after he made 10 cheap metres. Into the shaded part there with the last tackle for the game. Jeff Johnson with the torpedo bomb, and that's scary enough from here. I'm not sure what Steve Brandon's going to do. He's going to pick it up as easy as it please and bring it out 5 metres and 10 metres. Clubbing across field makes it 15. And that's just fantastic work from the Jets fullback. That ball was hard to catch, and he made it look easy, Danny.
Yeah, when he left his foot, Max, I thought you were going to stick it into the car park, but it just went straight up in the air, and it's really well taken, hitting the Jets and bringing the ball out.
How's that Dwayne Connors will come off the bench, I think, Ben? He's
coach. So.
That's an inspirational run. He's made 10, 15 easy metres there. Now Trent Waldron gets his fire up on the right-hand side. Now this is how the Jets are responding. They're responding well to conceding the last 2 tries. Big banger, Hayne rumbles forward, gets to almost halfway. But they look for the early kick in this set. That's 4 tackles. Look to the left-hand side, and Zach Blattner for this one. Yeah, it comes across to Blattner, and he puts a spiral torpedo bomb, which is coming across to Geordie Thomas on the right-hand wing. Takes it over his shoulder as easy as you please as well. Look at the catching skills of these backs. Just incredible.
Max. Nearly every time the Jets get the football.
They certainly did, but Mark Brandon wrapped him up because it was a good chase. Now, Lapani Waka gets to, well, I was going to say the 30-metre line, but it's 40 by the time he was actually picked down. Picked up one-handed by Sean Dees out of dummy half. An arrogant fend on Mark Brandon. It was sensational. And he managed to go in field and make 20 metres off that run. What a run from Sean Dees.
Yeah, as you said, the fend actually had him play footed, but he still made another 15 metres in the second.
Now, for Scott bouncing off defenders, and the ball's has it been stripped there? The referee saying it's been knocked on by Nowra in the attempt to pass the ball. I think Scott was trying to get an offload out, and Nowra got a hand on him, I think. And it looks like the Bulldogs might have the free to this scrum. They will. 35 metres out centre field, another chance.
And we're not far away from the Jets bench, so as you can see, they weren't all that close with the decision.
No, they're looking at with one yellow eye and one blue eye, that one, I think. 5:33 to go here at Bill Andrisky Moynihan Oval. It's 12 all tied up. Group 7 Rugby League on Kicks FM, and Lapani Waka gets the ball 2 passes off the scrum and charges forward in his customary manner with the green headgear bobbing from side to side. Now comes to the right-hand side. It's been taken up. It's only 10 metres out now. And having been down at 12-0, it's now 12 all. They're looking to score before half-time. Steve Lofts goes from dummy half. He's taken high, he's taken low, and he's taken just short. Only 2 metres out. Oh, he's actually been held up there. He's got that close. So the referee will take it back 10 metres from the line, and Lofts will play the ball. He's hurrying back to get a quick play the ball. They don't want to lose the momentum that they've gained through those last couple there. Now Waka has a run from dummy half and reaches out and gets perilously close underneath the post there. The Bulldogs are on fire at the moment. It comes out to the left-hand side through Salafia. He's already scored 1 try. He feeds it back to the right-hand side, and there's an offload which has popped up, and I reckon that would have gone forward. Yes, it had. The player threw it up as he was falling to the ground, and his momentum meant the ball went forward. It was caught by Nowra-Bomaderry, who gets fire, and he was tackled, but the referee's going to play the throw forward. Scrum it down.
Panicked a little bit there, the Bulldogs. They had an opportunity a couple of times.
Out left, they had lots of players.
They did, and that's probably where the ball needed to go. You can see why Stan Lofts is playing in the hook and roll and allowing Nick Goodwin to play lock.
Stan Lofts having a huge game. Lofty they call him apparently around the club, so they were telling me earlier on. Not the most original nickname in the world, but I'm sure it does the job. Now the scrum will go down. We've got 4 minutes 1 second left. In this half, it's 12-all at Bill Andriski, Molly Mookover, and the ball comes out the back of the scrum, and Trent Waldron, who's been very busy on that right-hand side, takes it up and gets picked back by Lafani Wacker of all people, up in the front line defence for the scrum there for the Bulldogs. It comes out to the right-hand side, Ryan James now, tackled 20 metres out. And might be a few tired bodies towards the end of this half. It may do the Jets well to maybe kick early on this set again and have one of the quick Ferrandon brothers chase after it. We'll see if that happens as one of the Jets players gets slammed to their back 20 metres out. That's a good tackle by Paul Arden. Comes out to the left and some pace being shown there. There might be Mark Brandon coming in to take the job off his forwards, and he hit the ground and got back up and played it again, and eventually claimed by Wade Walker on the 14 up, and now comes out to the right hand side. Now he's had a bit of a
too much in the tackle,
man. Bit of contretemps in the tackle, hanging around a bit too much there. The penalty goes to Nowra. 3 minutes to go in this half. They're 5 minutes from halfway. Zach Blackmer punishes them for that penalty. That's a fantastic touch one. You like that, Danny? That's one. It's going to touch 20 metres short of the Bulldogs line, so that's a 32-metre gain.
That's the second time he's gone for 20 maxing, and it makes a big difference. Makes it much easier for attacking side.
Kurt Quinlan feeds the ball off to Trent Waldron again. He's a power of hit-ups in this half, and he gets 8 metres out on the right-hand side. 5 metres in from touch. The ball swings across to the left-hand side through Isaac Munderson. Playing in the centres today, usually plays at fullback or on the wing, but he's making a good fist of it today. Now the ball to the left-hand side again. Fired out through Blackman. Comes out to the replacement, Sean Lynch. Lynch is on the field in number 15. Lynch in 15, and he's tackled 2 metres out. And they come to the blind side. It's a bit crowded over here, though. Brandon steps through one and tries to get through his scrag and put on his back 3 metres in from touch, 2 metres out from the line. A couple of touches left off their sleeve. Mark Brandon will play the ball and throws a terrible pass which bounces up and stops Zach Blackman from getting any flow happening with the tackle. He's got it out to Jason Simpson. He's tackled in midfield. They lost 15 metres and that's the 5th tackle. Midfield, the ball comes out to the right-hand side and they go for a little chip through to Zach Blackman. It's bounced up in the air and being fielded there by the Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs. A little bit of the first dropout we've seen on the day.
It will be. Actually, I think it finally came off Jeff Johnson's foot and right back a little bit panicky, Rocky. Under the post, but he cleaned it up nicely. Just the finishing touches of both teams. Makes it just leave a little bit to be desired.
A little bit rusty.
Yeah, they are a little bit panicky, or we're taking the wrong options. The team who can hang on to the ball and just create a little bit more space, like to see Sean Deebs with some more football in his hand for the Bulldogs. And maybe we need, I was just about to say, maybe we need to see the captain coach touch the football.
Oh, now the dropout didn't go far before it ran into Wayne Connors. He managed to direct the ball backwards. It bounced back under his arms. Now they're on the attack with a minute 10 left in this half now, Nowra-Bomaderry. It's 12-all. The pass goes floating up to Trent Waldron on the right-hand side. He's going to go over and score. The Bulldogs are claiming it's a forward pass. The referee's got his hands in the air. He's calling time out. He wants to consult his touch judge. That looked all right from me.
Yeah, it did.
Signed. He's looking to his touch judge. He's looking back inside. He's waving time back on and he's giving the try to Trent Waldron in the 39th minute of the first half. 16-12 with a kick to come.
It was a bizarre couple of minutes. Makes a dropout from right under the post. It just went low and hard. Blaine Connors was standing on the 10-metre line and the ball hit him and went backwards. And gave obviously fantastic opportunity 10 metres out. It was a little bit of a poor read from the winger. Blake Mackie came off his wing.
Great pass. I'm not sure who gave that pass.
Yeah, right.
But we believe that Trent Waldron, the back row, has scored that one.
You've seen Trent Waldron, I believe, that scored. Yeah, it was Blake Mackie came off his wing and actually created an overlap for the Jets. A really good pass. Scored out in the corner.
Yeah, he's had a great game so far. Waldron, and he's been rewarded with a try in the depths of this first half. The clock will tick down as Mark Brandon lines up to kick this one. He's got 2 from 2. This is by far the hardest one. Sideline it up. We reckon he'll get a right behind this one.
I don't have to play another game.
Okay, he goes into the customary squatting position. We heard the bell go in the right-hand side there. And taking some time with this one, moves in and he hits it. And he gets it. What a great kick from out of the touchline. And now Nowra-Bomaderry Jets will go into half-time with a 6-point lead. 18-12, Danny Free.
Yep, it's just, as I said, Max, it was a couple of minutes, the opportunity to get the drop out. It just went low and flat and straight at the captain coach of the Jets, who somehow got the ball knocked back, and that was the complete difference. And the tackle set right on the...
Milton-Ulladulla will await the kickoff at the southern end, the Milton-Ulladulla end, and Nowra-Bomaderry defending the Nowra-Bomaderry in the second half of this clash, which could determine whether Nowra can stay in touch with the final five.
Yeah, well, it makes a big difference. What happens out of Barilla makes a big difference what happens to the Jets here as we have the kick-off and what should be a really entertaining second half. Thanks.
All right, well, it's definitely entertaining in the first half, that's for sure. End-to-end stuff. Ball comes out to the Bulldogs and they take the ball about 15-18 metres out from their own half. Steenloft moves into dummy half and feeds it off to the right-hand side to Harry Myers, and Myers takes some good metres and gets within 15 metres of halfway. They're slowing down the play the ball well there now. I'll say well because they weren't penalised for it, so it has to be a good thing. Some crunching defence from Trent Walden from the Jets. Browns the Bulldogs just short of halfway. Well, let's see what their kicking intention is. Now they're going to run it forward. Lapani Waka coming up to take the fourth hit up of that set. Well, he's brought the game. Takes some stopping now. There's 4 or 5 of them in there, including Dwayne Connors, who's come off the bench and started late in the first half. Steenloft went for a dummy half run. Got tackled quite early, but then running through to try and get the ball. Matt Dykstra from the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets hit the ball into the ground and knocked it on. So that was the 4th tackle. So they'll get a scrum, Milton-Ulladulla, effectively a repeat set then.
Yeah, he's a little disappointed with himself, Matt Dykstra. He actually caught Steenloft with his back to him and didn't know that he was there. If he catches it, he scores down on the other end under the post, but just knocked it on. And a pretty good opportunity for the Dogs now.
Yeah, second bite at the cherry. They're 43 metres out. They're 25 metres in for the western touchline. Jeff Johnson works the scrum, feeds it out to the right-hand side to Harry Myers. He gets over over the 40-metre line. Was grasped in a good tackle by Connors. Lofts moves it out to the left-hand side through Goodman. Comes out to the big number 16, Tom Woodland. He's 30 metres out now. Jets player has gone down like a sack of potatoes in back play. I didn't see what happened there, but it looks to me like Matt Dykstra, the number 14, or is it Dwayne Connors? No, it's Dwayne Connors, the skipper. He just fell flat on his face after that tackle.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. There was a couple of plays between me and the ball carrier.
Yeah, sideline referee was just working his way around to the side there. He probably didn't see that one, but I don't think there was any foul play involved because no one's up in arms about it. He may have copped a stray boot or elbow or some such because he went straight down on his face. And meanwhile, while we're here, we've got Les in the studio. We'll take advantage of this break with an under-18 score for us. Okay, and that's a late kickoff because no other games being played there for the Stingrays today. As we see Dwayne Connors, captain coach of the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets, getting to his feet. Yeah, I think he might have got a poke in the eye or a kick in the eye, straight boot in the eye there. But he's running back. He looks to be fully fit, and he'll walk back into position, and the ref will blow time back on. 30 metres out. Bulldogs in possession. Steenloft comes to a big blind side, hands it out to Wade Walker. He's tackled. A couple of tackles up their sleeve there. To the right-hand side now through Jeff Johnson. Jeff Johnson, a slow pass and then a run around. Comes out to the right to Arthur Scott, and Arthur Scott gets tackled 23 metres out. A couple of tackles left here. Quick play the ball there. Johnson moved into dummy half. Has a scoot down the blind side. And, got the ball out to the right-hand side to Sean Dees. And Sean Dees steps across and goes and keeps coming at them. He's been playing all Dees out on the right-hand side there. Now it's the last tackle. It comes across to Jeff Johnson. He kicks back across his body to the left-hand side, but beautifully gathered up there.
Six to go.
It's bounced out of the Nowra player's hand and 6 to go right underneath the goalpost. Lapani Waka ended up with that one. I'm not sure how. He's fed it back to Arthur Scott. And Arthur Scott, at a million miles an hour, has gone under the post. He's been held up. The referee was right on the spot there, so they're going to take it back to the 10 minute. He was travelling Arthur Scott then, wasn't he?
The tackle way about 5 players, Max, so it would have been a good effort to be able to put the ball.
He'll play the ball 10 metres out. They've got a full set here. Comes back to Steenloft. He moves it across to Johnson. Johnson looks inside, goes outside. The ball's come out to the right-hand side. And they're taken by the number 4 for the Bulldogs. They're going to drag him over the touchline, the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets. And that's a great defensive effort. Dale Walton and others dragged him over there. But he had all the momentum going against him.
Yeah, he did. Once you stand up, Max, you're actually upright, and the defensive unit coming across, there was no way of him actually getting the ball back. He tried to pass, but no chance. A great bit of defensive work, clean up what was a pretty poor handling area from the Jets.
Well, they had themselves to blame as well, the Bulldogs there. So instead of going forward, they were crabbing sideways, all of them in the back line there, and makes yourself an easy target to pick off and to use the touchline as another defender.
Yeah.
So the Jets get out of jail there. lead 18-12, but it's been on the Bulldogs in the first 4 minutes of the second half. And now the Jets will work it out of their own half. Kirkina goes to dummy half and has a little snipe. He saw it cap and he's moved through. He's beaten one. It's actually Zach Blackner. They're showing a lot of pace getting out of dummy half. No, wrong again. It was Steve Brandon. That's why he was so quick. Yep. He gets to within 12 metres of halfway, and then that's almost a professional foul by Nick Goodman. The skipper. Offside, well, he wasn't square at marker. But he just, I think he made the tackle by instinct. He's so used to making tackles. But the penalty goes to the Jets. And this is an easy way to get downfield, isn't it? Dummy half run and then a penalty. Zach Blackner finds touch. He's bitten off. That's all right. That one 30 metres out. On the left-hand side of the field, it'll come back to Kirk Quinlan to take the tap. He taps it. Feeds it across to Matt Ruin. Matt Ruin tackled by his opposite number. Nick Goodman again, the tackling machine, gets to within 25 metres. The shadows start to fall over Dylan Bisky. Molly look over here. It comes back to Dwayne Connors. He's having a big game, running like a forward. He's got the number 4 in his back row. I think he's playing in the back row at the moment. Now it comes to the right and now back across to the left through Blackner. Blackner with a cutout pass finds Steve Brandon. And Steve Brandon dummies up his left foot and almost gets through. Now they're only 2 metres out. Let's come back to Kieran Brandon. And Kieran Brandon's gone for a little dash over from dummy half, and he's been held up. Third or fourth time, and now a player's been held up in this game.
Well, it's about a fourth time. Either side's had players held up. We've been playing 5 minutes in the second half.
Okay, it comes out across the line to Zach Blackner, and Blackner fires across to Simpson. And Simpson looked for support, but then eventually they got tackled. They're 15 metres out. Last tackle comes across to the right to Blackner. Blackner dribbles the kick in, but it's been beautifully picked up in goal by the Bulldogs. And then they beat one and they beat another, and it's come out through the number 4. It's Kieran Ruffley who's taken it out and eventually earned the penalty for being inside the 10 metres there. So, talk about get out of jail free cards. Both sides using them very keenly in this half. The penalty goes to the Bulldogs. They'll kick for touch and find it. Well, only 20 metres out from their own line. And they trail by 6 points. 6 minutes into the second half. And we've got sideline Ralphie on the sideline today, thanks to the country club St George's Basement and Vincentia. The crowd's getting right into this game now, Ralphie. I hope it's all polite and good advice. Bulldogs play the ball 28 metres out from their own line. Comes to Nick Goodman, who swings it across to the right hand side. Arthur Scott working in the middle. He gets a one-handed offload back to Goodman. Goodman throws an intercept pass to Trent Waldron. Waldron ends up with the ball. Now on the attack 35 metres out. Too many offloads then, Danny. One too many.
It's just they all standing flat-footed, Max. Just 5 players standing around Arthur Scott. Then none of them are moving. He gives the pass away and ended up straight in the hands of the Jets, who have now got a wonderful opportunity.
On the attack through Matt Ruin, steps and goes and gets great defence. 15 metres out, that was Nick Goodman again. To the right hand side, they're right underneath the post that comes out to Tyson Simpson. He finds big Zach Kershaw, and Kershaw's punched the ground, only 2 metres out now. They lead by 6, the Jets, looking to add to the lead. It comes across to the right hand side, double cut out pass. Zach Blackner got taken. They've got a shoulder charge, he's in many arms in that one, and they've got a one-on-one scoop, but the referees have already said to play the ball. And now is that Arthur Scott? It was Arthur Scott involved in the tackle, raked the ball out with 2 players, and then he's thrown the ball back to halfway, Arthur Scott. I've seen a lot of refs make players go back and catch those sort of balls.
So Max, I've seen a lot of players that play on. That didn't look like a 2-on-1 stick to me. It looked like Arthur Scott against the player. If he's called held, he should have just got up and played the football. Anyway, penalty to the Jets right in front.
Right in front.
Out.
They lead by 6. Wouldn't be surprised if they knocked us over for an 8-point lead. And they're having a discussion midfield, and they are going to take the shot at goal. And why wouldn't you with Steve Brandon, with Mark Brandon as your goalkeeper? It's only 10 metres out right in front, and this would give them an all-important 8-point lead, Danny.
Yeah,
mistakes from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, too many mistakes again. A little bit unlucky. I thought the referee could have either called play on, go back and play the football, but as you said, Max, when you kick the ball 40 metres away, there's been plenty of referees hitting now and fetch that.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, it seemed to be a strange decision there. All I can think is there may have been someone involved in the tackle earlier.
Yeah.
Might have laid a hand, someone might have laid a hand on it. It's a very strange rule, that one. I can understand why they do it, but I don't know, but the movement of a lot of Bulldogs players seemed perplexed there. Brandon moves in, kicks it into Ulladulla, and the score is 20-12. That's the first points of the second half, 8 minutes in. Here today, thanks to South Coast Medical Service Aboriginal Corporation, 20-12 to the Jets over the Bulldogs.
Maybe I IGA liquor man of the match award, Max, and there's been a couple of players from both sides I would have thought that have stood out so far, and Sean Lee's been really impressive, but I've also been equally impressed with Stone Lofts and his set.
Ryan James as well.
And Nick Goodman's defensive work on its own has been a highlight.
Absolutely, he gets you a power of work, Nick Goodman. So the Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs kicking off through Nowra-Bomaderry. No ball, we've got no ball here, Danny.
I'm not mentioning the ball boys after last week.
No, we don't talk about the ball boys.
For those who weren't here, we talked about the ball boys tackling each other to keep them.
And they got replaced.
And they got replaced. So.
That's Leroy out there being the ball boy, the most experienced ball boy in Group 7.
He does everything here, including the ball boy work.
He does. Okay, now time back on. Salafia kicks off. It goes high, long and deep, and it's held up by Nowra-Bomaderry Jets, and they take it 25 metres up from the line. Met by some steely defence. Harry Myers involved there. In the distant sunshine, yeah, well, distant, it's bright and blinding sunshine here at Billy Distant moment. We'll make the most of it. In about half an hour, it's going to be freezing when the sun goes down. Nowra-Bomaderry, ball picked up in one arm there, like that crucial, moving forward. It's just short of halfway. 8-point lead now to Nowra-Bomaderry. Now the thing is, will they put the foot on the throat, or will they let Milton-Ulladulla back into this game? Dwayne Connors fires the ball across to Tyson Simpson. He steps through off his right foot, looking for support. Steps forward, beats Lapani Waka, and beats the guy in cover. And Tyson Simpson has gone 55 metres to score underneath the post, beating 3 players, Danny.
It was a nothing really, Max. It was just an opportunity to give the football to the winner, to the 5'8". He's a big range, sort of 5'8". Takes a wonderful first step to get himself through, comes to the fullback of Lapani Waka. As you said, makes just a big step, gives it left him grasping for thin air, and Stone Lofts come across, unfortunately, couldn't make the tackle. And that's probably going to make it very, very difficult now for the Bulldogs.
Well, still half an hour to go, but I think I answered the question I was talking about. Just as I said, are they going to put their foot on the throat? Now, Tyson Simpson put his foot on the accelerator pedal, burst through with a left foot step, then came to Lapani Waka, and most times I would back Lapani Waka to make that sort of front-on tackle. But Simon Ralphie managed to barrel through and score the try. Very true, when they were down 12-0 in the first half, they managed to respond with 2 tries to make it 12-all. Mark Brandon has knocked over his 5th goal for the day, and the score is 26-12, the Jets over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, big range, 5'8". Made good ground to get to the step. It was just too big at side steps, and Lapani Waka was just in there grasping at nothing, and just another opportunity for the Jets to put some more pressure on the Bulldogs.
But it's a great point by Ralphie. They did respond in the first half.
Yeah.
Milton-Ulladulla. It'll be interesting to see what they can do here. And once again, we don't have the ball. So Leroy is forced the ball boy. Well done, his ball boy. Forced to come and hand the ball over to Nick Salafia, who kick off for the second time in 3 minutes, with 12 points being laid on in quick time. 8 points being laid on in quick time by the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets. And they run it up after the kick-off, and more great work by Harry Myers. It seems to be his job to take on the kick return there. Nick Goodman as well down low. Nowra-Bomaderry play at 15 metres out from their own line. And then Brandon has another run from dummy half. He loves doing that, Steve Brandon. He's got such pace. He often makes it cheap farther to the metres, which is what he did then. Steve Lofts involved in
just a bit scrappy. I think he might have got a
poke in the eye or something there, and it was a little bit late, and maybe a little bit of acting there from Steve Brandon. Steve Lofts standing there like he's not interested at all. He's got his hands on his hips like a teapot, saying, "Come on, just play the ball." Meanwhile, on this side of the field, Milton-Ulladulla has Arthur Scott getting some attention to a lower back injury. He's back in the defensive line now, but he's on the wing. I wonder if Nowra can see that one. Okay, Dwayne Connors is taking it up to there's a bit of a stink here. Dwayne Connors took it up, and there's a little bit of an altercation there in midfield. Now, players running in from all over the place. Will Drury is saying, "Stop it, get out of there." He's given the penalty to Nowra-Bomaderry. And now players are coming in from left, right and centre, Danny. I'm loving what Ryan James is doing over here, pretending to throw punches to number 5, Blake Mackey. I think they might be mates off the field there. But it was the slowest motion punch you've ever seen. It didn't quite connect, and it was all in jest.
Well, it's interesting, if you didn't know what that was happening, Max, if you saw that from a distance, you would think, what's going on there?
You might have thought it was Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you remember the Morris brothers were involved in a mock fight in a game was pretty similar to that, really.
Now, the penalty is going to go to Nowra-Bomaderry because that was what the original infringement was for something that went on in the tackle. But now the refs, Will Drury is having a word to to Kurt Quinlan and also to Nick Goodman, probably in their capacity as skippers here, and also calling out, I think that's Harry Myers, isn't it? Yeah, calling him out for, I think maybe the third man in that might be for that one. He's been given 10 in the bin, so he won't be back until the 38th minute of this game, 27 minutes into the second half. Myers has gone to the sin bin.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That sort of thing was basically just a push and shove, Max. It was just third man in. They didn't actually come to anything. It seems a bit harsh to put someone into a bin. I guess someone's got to pay a penalty for what was a little bit unsavoury. But
it's unsavoury. Well, yeah, but it also results in every player in the field coming into it to sort it out. So
yeah, I guess.
Maybe that's the reaction to it. So it's actually Tyler Clark who's been sent to the sin bin. He sits down in front of us in the loneliest position on the field, or just off the field, and the penalty kick is taken by Nowra-Bomaderry. They find touch 5 metres short of halfway. They lead 26-12 with 13 minutes to go. 27 minutes to go, excuse me. Kurt Quinlan takes the penalty tap restart. Hands it off to the back row of Matt Ruin, and Matt Ruin gets it just over halfway before it's taken by Nick Goodman, who else he does a defensive work, and now it's come Dwayne Connors took it up at 1,000,000 miles an hour. There's some filling in this game. He's taken by ex-Jet Jeff Johnson. Steenloft's in that as well, and there's like a little short-arm jab one there from Paul Adler, I think it might have been. And the ref says play on. It comes to the left-hand side. Now there's Matt Ruin again. I don't think he was expecting that one. He was recovering from the previous run, but he's been thrown to ground there by Mick Salafia. And the ref is calling out someone here for a high shot. About 35 metres out. The effort attacking the head of the opposite opposing player. I think that one, Will Drury has said, he's motioning to his head and his ears there. So the penalty goes to Nowra. Now this one's 35 metres out, and Blattner takes no time in taking the kick for touch, and it's bounced over the barbed wire fence. They may not get that ball back. It's gone off into the swamps and the bayou here on the eastern side. Bill Andrews comes out to the right hand side now. The Jets on the attack. This game's picked up in intensity a couple of notches.
Looking forward to Dwayne Connors taking the football again. Paul Adler and Dwayne Connors have had a couple of occasions the last couple
of sets too. Now Kurt Quinlan takes the ball, one pass off the ruck. Now Dwayne Connors moves to the dummy half. He might pass this one away. And yes, he does. He gets rid of it quickly and goes to the blind side. The ball's been dropped. Deeves tried to pick it up, but they're going to play a couple of knock-ons here. The first one was from Nowra, so the scrum will go down with Milton-Ulladulla getting out of jail there, 10 metres out from the line. And yes, plenty of feeling creeping into this game, and plenty of reaction from the crowd as well. Sideline Ralphie there. They're loving it here.
We're loving it.
Alright, scrum goes down, and Milton-Ulladulla will feed it and work it, and it comes out to the left hand side. And there's a punchy bit of defence there by Isaac Morrison standing up in the line. Bulldogs now have to work it out of their own line. They trail by 14 points now. Those points have happened so quickly. There's a smashing tackle by Zach Kershaw. He put Lapani Waka on his back and tried to drill him through to Europe. And then it's come back to Geordie Thomas, who got the ball off to play the ball, and he's been driven backwards as well. So yeah, the defensive intensity is lifted as well from Nowra-Bomaderry. Johnson moves into dummy half, falls across to Scott. Scott's back into Deeves, and Adniti is in. He's busted through, he steps off his right foot, beats the fullback, and he's beaten the cover defence, and he's gone right to the score. He puts his hand in the air, and the Superman dive, and Sean Deeves has scored one of the best individual tries you'll ever see, running 50 metres, beating 3 players, and diving like Superman. That was incredible.
Max, every time he's touched a football today, he's been explosive, but no more than that. He's taken the ball from 40 metres out in a short ball, and it exploded through the line. He got 15 metres. Once he got 15 metres away from the line, put his big arm up in the air as a salute, and then a massive dive next to the post to finish off what was a magnificent drive.
So, Ralphie, if the crowd wasn't on fire before that, that's going to light them up like a fireworks. Well, he had to beat 2 or 3 in the first line, then he burst through the second line, and then he was being chased down, and I thought Tom Woodland was going to get him, but he just clacked on a little bit of extra pace, put the fist in there, then the big Superman dive. What an outstanding try, Sean Deeves. And it gets them back within 10 points with his kick right in front.
Yeah, sometimes you watch a game and you see a player and that's basically a little bit better than most of the other players around him, and at the moment that's Sean Dees. Every time he touched the ball in the first half, it just found it really difficult to control him, and that was the first time in 17 minutes that we've seen him with any ball at all in the second half. They just need to keep giving him the football. He's big, strong, and obviously has an opportunity to light up the crowd. He must have dived from 10 metres away from the line.
No, that was just a sensational bit of football there, just incredible to watch. And now Waka has sliced that like one of your golf 3-irons, Jenny. That one's gone way into the rough. You're not going to find that one. You're going to get a new ball. But that one will hit a provisional because that one's missed by about 20 metres.
It's a mistake to miss the shot of goal from there. They need to kick that.
He was almost there in front, 26-16, 10 points gap, and still 2 converted tries behind. But yeah, needed to concentrate. I think he lifted his head on that one.
Yeah, he
went
did.
Through. Goodness gracious. So now we'll kick off. I don't think they were expected to be kicking off at this stage of the game. And they kicked it deep, and it's going to be taken by Waka. He's brushed off missing the goal, but he takes it back like a locomotive, almost beats another, manages to get a one-arm offload away, and then there's a great response from the Bulldogs backing up the try to taking it out from the kick-off 35 metres out from their own line. Now Steen Lofts gets it across to the right-hand side. And looking for Nick Goodman there, couldn't quite get the ball away.
This is that lift and energy that Ralphie was talking about, Max. They're back into this game, albeit at 10 points behind.
Yeah, they certainly do. Now there's a big run from Peter Lett, the big human. He gets right to halfway. Third tackle, they're doing well. Lofts moves out to the right-hand side to Jeff Johnson. Jeff Johnson out to Myers, and Myers takes the tackle. And he's 8 metres out. And don't forget that the Bulldogs scored that try while they had Tyler Clark in his sin bin as well. And they've been there for a couple of minutes. Crowd calling for a high shot, and they're going to get the reaction because that was Trent Waldron, I think, or is it number 16 now? Trent Waldron made a high shot on the Bulldogs player Peter Lett, and the penalty goes to them 40 metres out from the line. They take the kick, and now they're only 35 metres out. So the Bulldogs looking to respond here in kind. They're doing well, and they've got the crowd right behind them, and just slowing down because there's only one ball on this whole oval, I think, Danny. They can't find a ball any time it goes into touch. There's people there taking it up, so obviously no real effects from the high tackle from which the penalty was gleaned. 10 metres out, comes out to the left-hand side. Johnson fires it across the left to Myers, and Myers is tackled straight in the middle of the field there. Santino Battagliolo, great tackle right around the boots. Steen Lofts out to Johnson again. Johnson with Goodman, quick handsy. A terrible pass by Goodman. And Paul Ardler couldn't pick it up because it was right around his feet, but gee, they lost that opportunity then. Terrible pass.
But again, flat-footed makes everyone who took the football then was flat-footed, makes the pass a little bit less momentum, everything breaks down.
Well, maybe it could be a function of the defence. The defence seemed quite strong now. They're up quite quickly and menacing them. And some of the hits in the last 10 minutes, who wouldn't want me to take the ball. I wouldn't want to be taking the ball. I'm
making sure you weren't flat-footed at least.
Yes, that's true. I've got quite a high arch. So I've been told by my podiatrist anyway. One of those is the ball is fed in the scrum by Tyson Simpson. 20 metres out from their own line, Dwayne Connors takes it up. Smashed him and tackled by Salafia. Oh, I tell you what, there's been a great running battle between Dwayne Connors and anybody in a light blue jumper today, hasn't there? Now the Jets with this 10-point lead, 26-16. We're halfway through the second half. Bill Andriski, Molly McGover. We're here today thanks to the South Coast Medical Service Aboriginal Corporation and their Tackling Indigenous Smoking program. Now Blackman kicks right from just outside his own 40. There's no one at home for the Bulldogs, and the Lapani Waka has to go back, and it's a fantastic chase there. Kieran Brandon, Tyson Simpson, and also Trent Waldron have taken it in a beautiful combination. Now he's played the ball quite quickly though, and there's that man Sean Dees bringing it out, and takes it 20-30 metres out. And now the Bulldogs work it to the right-hand side through Blake Mackey. Blake Mackey, diagonal run and slam to the ground. Dwayne Connors, geez, has been involved in the second half. It's had a great second half. Dee's a dummy half. That's a wasted position for him. He needs to be running the ball. But anywho, they get it out to the right. Oh, I'm looking for an offload there before Dwayne Connors came in and shut it down again. That was an iron hard hit. Now Dee's running from dummy half, looking to spark something for the Bulldogs. A slap across the back of his head from Paul Hardwick for his troubles. It was comical more than anything. There's a left foot kick going in from the Bulldogs. It's gone straight down the throat of Steve Brandon. He went, geez, quick look at the speed of him as he brings it back before he met the welcoming committee. And Peter Lett said stop, and stop. He did. Sits it by Steen Loft. 30 metres out from their own line. Kershaw gets the ball across to the other Brandon, Mark Brandon. steps and goes and gets to within 2 metres of halfway. They're quick, these Brandon boys. They've made 10 metres before you even know they've played. The ball's been played. And now there's some crunching defence by Steen Loft. Put the Nowra player right on his backside. And that was Zach Kershaw, and that's not easy to do. The ball comes out to the right. There's a long pass that went up in the air, and it was a bit hard to handle there. It's coming up to the number 16, and he's knocked it on. Ball's gone forward. It's been picked up by Milton-Ulladulla. So just trying a little bit too hard now at Bomaderry. They do have a 10-point lead, but if they keep doing that, it's going to shrink very quickly. Lapani Waka takes it one hit off the ruck and gets ripped up by some players who are offside. I've got another high tackle. Coming to his ears again, and now we want to keep that, those arms down, those tackles.
I'd say that's a little bit to do with the crowd. Max, there's a couple of people trying to encourage the referee to give a penalty then. We found a reason for one, and the Bulldogs get out of trouble.
Okay, well, the Bulldogs are getting piggyback down over halfway. The penalty kick taken 5 metres into Nowra-Bomaderry Jets territory, and now they take it up through Kieran Ruffley, and Ruffley gets the one-hand offload away to Steen Lofts. Lofts hands it up to Peter Letts. He's played well since he came on the field, and then out to Harry Myers. He's had a big game ranging on the right-hand side, the big second row. Now they're only 15 metres out, the Bulldogs. They trail by 10 and there's 17 minutes left. Anybody's game this one. Well, not the Bulldogs game if they're going to drop the ball on the second tackle. That's exactly what they've done in the play. The ball strong will go down with the Jets to feed that one. 5 metres in from the eastern touchline, 20 metres out from their own line. Mistakes. Crucial.
Just frustrating, Max. They had an opportunity. There was no need to rush the pass or do anything silly there. It was just, as you said, second tackle, 15 metres out, plenty of chances to put some pressure for the Jets, but no. Another drop ball, and that was the story of the first half. It's made a difference now.
All right, now the Jets work it out to within 30 metres away from their own line. And Nick Goodwin makes a great tackle from dummy half and ensures that Mark Brandon can't make any more out of that dummy half run. Comes out to the left-hand side through Santino Battagliolo, who gets to within 5 metres of halfway. And they're marching slowly but surely upfield here, the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets. And Ben Lahane, he's slow but sure. Well, he's actually quite rapid there, but he gets tackled 5 metres in to the Bulldogs half. A couple of tackles up their sleeve. Watch for Dwayne Connors in this set. No, he's got a dunny run. Then Zach Blattner, an early kick, an early spy. And it's going to end up end over end. Lapani Waka is underneath it. And, he took it, but he got taken out in the tackle by Nowra-Bomaderry. The red set player, and it's been picked up by Zach Blattner. And Zach Blattner, he tried to go over, but then I think it was the hooker. Steen Lofts was back there to stop it. Now there's another set 2 here with players running in everywhere. And, it looked for all money like they're going to score in the corner on the right-hand side, but Steen Lofts came from nowhere to make that try-saving tackle. Meanwhile, in back play, is Lapani Waka downfield after being creamed in the act of taking that bomb. So plenty going on, Dan.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, he took the bomb, the ball spilled out. I thought the ball was actually maybe a little bit high. He's holding his head, but the referee called play on. Looked like Blackman was going to score.
The halfback picked it up and went corner flagging, straight for the corner, but Steen Lofts in cover defence again. Came in, made the tackle, the ball went loose, and then there was some sort of incident in the play the ball, and a few players came running in. Handbags at 20 paces, I think it was. I don't think there was much to be made of. There might be more to be made of this incident with Lapani Waka. He's still down being attended to the trainer. He is sitting up, which is always a good sign. But
he's a report from the touch judge, Max. Both touch judges have stayed where they are. I think you just find that this will end up being a scrum feed to the Dogs.
Well, I think it was the problem was that the ball, Waka and the defensive player all arrived in the same spot in space and time at exactly the same time. And someone has to lose in that equation, otherwise Newton's third law doesn't hold. And in that case, it was Waka. And the penalty, the scrum, goes to Milton-Ulladulla. So they're saying the ball was lost forward by Nowra-Bomaderry. Yeah, so 10 metres out from their own line, shrugging off tackles on the right-hand side. He's again making a fantastic run. Next to about 10 metres out from his own. Geordie Thompson was, okay. So they're full of running still, Milton-Ulladulla. With 15 minutes to go in this game, they trail by 10. It's 26-16. And there's another penalty being given away by now. That one's just hanging around too long in the tackle there. And they managed to get themselves out of trouble. Jeff Johnson takes the kick for touch on his own 20. And doesn't go that far. Kicks it into the crowd on the far side of the ground. Gets to within 10 metres of halfway.
Found a second ball.
Oh, they found a second ball. Okay, so now we've got 2 on the field. It's feast or famine here at Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs. Either they've got no balls or you've got too many balls. I hate when that happens. There's Dees shrugging off Connors. There's a contest. Dees versus Connors. That'd be Pacquiao versus Horn. I'd love to see that one. Nick Goodman moves into dummy half now. He's brushed away there. Steve Lofts moves into the preferred position. And they get to 10-12 metres. Taken up by Harry Myers. He's had a good game, the rangy back rower. And I think we'll find that Tyler Clark is back on the field. Yes, there he is taking the ball up after spending 10 minutes in the sin-bin. Looking to make amends for leaving his team one player short for 10 minutes in this crucial half of football. Jeff Johnson gets, I know it was, what's who that was? It might have been Salafia smashed at the tackle. Now the ball's come from the right back to the left to Johnson. He dummied once and he passed it eventually. He got across to Paul Adler. Adler was looking for the offload, couldn't make it. Now it's the last tackle. They're 20 metres out. The Bulldogs, they go to the right-hand side. Jeff Johnson, crossfield kick. He looks to have shanked that one. It's been beautifully taken on the right-hand wing by Kieran Brandon. And now he might be bundled into touch. No, he hasn't been. It was a great take. And he managed
to about 2 metres.
Yeah, and he managed to stay in despite the attentions of 3 or 4 defensive players from Milton-Ulladulla. And now a burst, a half-bake made by Nowra-Bomaderry Jets gets them 15 metres out. Mark Brandon moves into the dummy half role that he loves doing in his own end of the field. Steve Brandon, sorry, and then sparks through, gets the ball away to his brother, and there is Mark now. Oh, and he's taken from behind there in the nicest way possible by Tyler Clark, and he gets 5 minutes short of halfway. Dwayne Connors at a million miles an hour beats one, and then comes to Paul Adler, who stops him and shuts him down. He has, he's 30 metres out midfield, but he was running like a hurricane when Connors. As he has, and I'll tell you what, the Taglialo's come off second best in that one. He's staying down in the tackle while they play the ball. The Jets comes out to the left through Brandon of the Steve variety, and he gets it back inside the Simpson tackle. Last tackle now, 30 metres out. They go to a wide blind side. Comes out to Brandon. Steve Brandon gets out to Kieran Brandon. He right foot kicks. It came off the fingertips of Milton-Ulladulla. Lapani Waka has it down the right hand side. He beats one now. He's got some cover coming across. Tyson Simpson's looking for him. Side for defence. He beats Tyson Simpson, but he's running sideways now, and he's allowed the defence to come. But good play by him. It allows the play to continue now with a relatively quick play. The ball. Dees, he gets the ball. But Dees wish he got that pass a little bit earlier. Oh, and it's come out to Harry Myers, and Myers has split it forward in the tackle. And the ref said play on. Everybody's stopped apart from Santina Battagliolo, who got the ball, but everybody stopped.
Well, it does make you wonder how the ball can go that far if he's knocked it on. The ball went 10 metres forward then.
It went a long way. It may well have been a rake, but now Brandon of the Kieran variety gets it to the 40-metre line. In midfield, it's all happening here at Bureau District Mollymook Oval. The Jets get over halfway and 45 metres out. They lead by 10. They've got 12 minutes left on the clock thanks to Joyce May Computers Electrical South Nowra. Now they're only 25 metres out. And we've got Kieran Brandon moving into dummy half. And he spins the ball across the line. It comes to the right to Kershaw. Kershaw with the kick across field. He's turned them all around. The ball's taken a leg break. Lapani Waka's tried to do it. I don't think he's managed to nail it. And the referee said no, that Waka, I think, was pushed out of the way in the play where it might have been Mark Brandon in his attempt to get the ball, pushed the Bulldogs out of the way. Otherwise it would have been trying to narrow. But it was pretty messy, but the ball took it in 2 interesting bounces there. First of all, it took a leg break, then it took a top spinner, ran away from Lapani Waka, but the penalty had been given just prior to that for impeding the Ulladulla Bulldogs player run to the ball. So they breathe a sigh of relief, and Johnson finds touch. Well, about 5 metres found with that one. It was more of a relieving kick more than anything. And now they get the penalty kick. And there's a huge run by Arthur Scott again. Arthur Scott gets to within 12 metres of halfway. Steen Lofts into dummy half, fires across to Mick Goodman. Mick Goodman running as you don't want Mick Goodman taking it up too often. You only get relatively little bloke. Give it to the big blokes to do that. Like this bloke. Clark, he loves doing it. He gets over halfway. He's 42 metres out. They trail by 10 with 10:33 left. Really need to score in the next couple of minutes to make this an exciting finish. Steen Lofts went for a dummy half scoop, but wasn't fooling anyone. Didn't make very many minutes at all. Goodman now feeds it out to the left-hand side and finds Paul Adler. Adler takes the tackle. Is that going to be the last? Yes, it is. The last tackle, 30 metres out to the right-hand side. Oh, they all mucked up at first receive. It ends up with Steen Lofts putting a bomb end over end. And we've got Steve Brandon attacking the ball. And, he's taking it. He dropped it backwards, luckily, because he was facing the right way. And he comes across to the right-hand side now, crabbing across field, and steps off his right foot and gets claimed by the kicker.
Yeah,
funny enough, Steen Lofts.
Again, we saw in the first half, it's just that last tackle option from the Dogs just falling down. We've got 10 minutes to go, Max, and basically 10 minutes to go, and a really huge 10 minutes for the Jets.
Pretty much. They need to stay in touch with the top 5, and they need to win this game to do so. So Mark Brown takes up to the 15 metres short of halfway.
Dwayne Connors down in background.
I'm not surprised the way he's been playing. That room bust through one tackle. Nick Goodman holding onto his arm after he threw it in front of him with Connors' arms there. And now comes out to the right-hand side for the Jets. Palming off players and then beautifully taken. Nice tackle there from Matthew. And last tackle it is now, 35 metres out. Now when we just go to the right with Kirk Quinlan, he bounces the ball straight into the arms of, I think that might be Scott. I know it's Paul Adler again. There wasn't much of a kick there. I think he was trying to go for touch to give his team a bit of a break, but it wasn't much of a kick at all.
Yeah, it was even a kick. The touch was going to be interesting, Max. It didn't really do anything. It was only go a couple of metres and give the ball back to the Dogs anyway.
Johnson at dummy half feeds it out to Nick Goodman. Nick Goodman tackling right on halfway. They trail by 10. They love a try. Sean Jeeves picks it up, palms off one, tries to palm off another, but they come back at him. But he made 10 of the hardest metres you'll ever make in rugby league out of dummy half with 3 players crawling all over him. It comes out to the right-hand side. Oh, and the ball into almost got to Salafia threw an interesting pass to Adler to Miles there, and he managed to just pick it up on his toes. Now Johnson with a high end-over-end bomb coming down, beautifully taken by the right winger in Kieran Brandon here. That was just superb. It's cool as a cucumber. He had Thomas Jordan, he had the Blake Mackey bearing down on him, and he took it as cool as a cucumber. Now, happening a million miles an hour. Steve Brown on the fullback goes from dummy half and gets to it in 12 metres of halfway, centre field. The sun going down, getting a bit chilly here, Danny Free. The action's still hot on the field though, and that's the main thing. Matt Ruin works it up and gets slammed onto the back by Arthur Scott, and also joined by his front row partner there, Tyler Clark, just short of halfway. They lead by 10. Big Ben Lahane powers up and gets taken down low, and a good tackle by Wade Walker and up high. Wade Walker stayed down. I thought it was Harry Morris stayed down after that. It was a bit slow getting back in the defensive line. Kirk Quinlan realises that and heads to the left, and then it gets out to Zach Walker, and he kicks for the touchline, and it's managed to bounce out after a fortuitous bounce. He said, let's have a rest. We lead by 10 with 7:27 to go, and it's all for the Bulldogs to do.
Yeah, that's a long way out from there. Also, 10 metres out in that left-hand corner down there, it's a long way to work your way back. The Bulldogs have been good in the last 10 minutes, but haven't been able to score. And that kick there, Max, where you said was a fortuitous bounce, actually, if it sat up a little bit higher, Mike Brown would probably score this.
Well, with the pace that he's got, if it bounced up a little bit, but just managed to sneak in a touch. And second best result, I suppose, for the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets. They get to try and pin down the Bulldogs in their own half, and here they go, the Bulldogs trying to work it out. It's just some solid defensive work from the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets. Leaves them 12 metres out, the Bulldogs, from their own line as they bring it up, and there's a powerful tackle by Matt Dexter. And he takes it up to 20 metres out. The Bulldogs. An updated score?
Yeah, 2016. Including the Port Campbell team.
And Sean Dees makes another bust down the left-hand side. It takes 3 Jets players to stop him. Powerful old tackle. They're laying all over the top of him there. Ben Lahane spent too long in there. And the referee said, I'm going to give the penalty. And the more times that Dees gets his hand on the ball, the closer they are to breaching this 10-point gap.
I think there's a few old teammates saying to him.
I think so. Now, Steen Lofts took a kick for touch there, which went approximately 37 centimetres. And they take the tap and give the ball to Tyler Clark. Admittedly, he was only half a metre from touch.
Okay.
So that made it a bit hard. Now they work it to the right-hand side. Lapani Waka uses a dummy runner there. And Wade Walker takes the ball up to the 40-metre line. They need to score shortly. There's only 5:55 left in this game. Arthur Scott looking for the one-armed offload. He is dangerous. He does have that offload. But that's played the ball back to Steen Lofts, and Lofts has knocked it on. He's saying there was interference in the play of the ball, but I think it was a bit of a knock-on from the player who's probably given a lot in this game. Might be a little bit fatigued.
Yeah, he has been tired, Max. Just tried to do a little bit too much with it then.
Speaking of tired, there's a number of players in the Nowra-Bomaderry, or both teams, on their haunches, or rubbing their faces or taking big gulps of air here. It's been quite a grueling game, been end-to-end with the amount of mistakes that have been made. 5:22 to go on the Joyce Mains Computers and Electrical South Nowra clock. Also thanks to our match day sponsor today, South Coast Medical Service Aboriginal Corporation. Check their website out at southcoastams.org.
The service they provide, mates.
They do, and they've got a tackling Indigenous smoking program at the moment. Be smoke-free, be healthy, and be deadly. Okay, the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets with a 10-point lead and 5 minutes on the clock. The clock's working for them. They go out to the left-hand side. They're very close to the touchline. Now they bring it back infield, and they go over the 40-metre line, and they get over halfway, and they're brought to ground. Steenloft getting through a power of defence. Tell you what, between him and Nick Goodman, they must rack up a century of tackles between them in the game. The ball comes back in field. Santino Battagliolo wrapped up again and thrown to ground. Arthur Scott involved in that one. Now they're 37 metres out, the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets, with a 10-point lead. They hopefully won't do anything stupid. And the supporters would hope they won't do anything stupid and drop the ball. We've got Nowra taking it forward again. Gets to 38 metres out. A couple of tackles left off their sleeve. Stacking a wide blindside, so of course they go left through Kirk Quinlan. And then Big Ben Lahane gets tackled. Another great tackle around the boot laces. 28 metres out, right in front of the post. Last tackle. Quinlan at dummy half, goes to the left-hand side, finds Kershaw. Kershaw pokes a right foot grubber kick, bounces up into the arms of Lapani Waka, and he took it bravely because it bounced up about 8 feet in the air. He had to leap up and take it. He was a bit of a target there, but he found the ground quickly and managed to play the ball 2 metres out from his own line. Oh, there's a dodgy pass, juggled by Wade Walker. He managed to bring it back in under control, and he's tackled 5 metres out. Now looking to lock down Milton-Ulladulla deep in their own side, in their own turf, and there's a good tackle there by Ben Lahane, which will help that cause. 3 tackles gone, they've only made about 5 metres, the Bulldogs. Slow play the ball though. Sean Deves at dummy half. Starts off at half pace, bounces off his right foot, and then, that's a good tackle on Deves. He's stopped only 20 metres out. Good defensive set from the Jets here. I think there's a lot of tired Bulldogs out here. Comes to the left-hand side. And just the last tackle, they're only 40 metres out. Now it comes out to the right-hand side, and it's the last tackle. Some great defensive work done there by the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets. And they managed to lock them up right on halfway. In that set, they couldn't get a kick away. And it was well done by Zach Kershaw, who would play the ball with a 10-point lead, 3 minutes to go. Comes back to Matt Dykstra. Dykstra gets 40 metres out there. Ben Lahane having a little rest, and why wouldn't he? He's put in a lot in this game. He's resting in behind the attacking line. Now it comes back to Matt Ruin. Matt Ruin steps off his right, bounces off his left, gets tackled midfield, 32 metres out, centre field. Been a lot of play in the lane, the Bulldogs half in the last 5 minutes. Tyson Simpson uses himself as a battering ram and gets through one. Ooh, won't get through. He gets the offload away. It's come out to now on the right-hand side. Another one-hand offloaded. No, they're scragged to ground, only 2 metres out there. And that was a good run there from Ray Wills. And now the ball's come back to Ben Lahane. He's looking for his second try of the game. He was taken fractionally high, but I think it was more reflex action more than anything. When he's right in the shadow of the right-hand upright, only about a metre out, taking a long time to play the ball. Quinlan throws a long pass out to Kershaw. Kershaw with the kick half bomb for the winger, but I don't think he told his winger he was going to kick that one. There was no chasers.
He's a neat kicker, but if you don't let the wingers know, then there's no chase.
Neat kicker, terrible communicator. So now the Bulldogs get 7 tackles from a 20-metre restart, and it's come out through Geordie Thomas. He bounced off one, wasn't held, got up and played it again. Gets to within 12 metres of halfway. Handy run, that's the 0 tackle. Comes across to the right-hand side, and that's the other winger getting involved there. Black Mackie coming off his wing from the left-hand side to then support. Sean Deves, a dummy half, accelerates. And oh, that's a great tackle there. Was that Quinlan? Got him around the ankles? No, it was the number 3, Isaac Munderson. Managed to stop him before he had him momentum built up, and that's what you need to do to a player of Deves' stature and acceleration. Now they go on a very short blindside. Could be a mistake. Now Zach Kershaw manages to tackle. Got my Zacks mixed up there, and they've held on too long in the tackle, and this is a professional foul. Will Drury's having none of that, and so he held him down too long in the tackle, and now a player moving towards the sideline. We'll have to wait till we see what number that is, but they'll get first use of the showers with only a minute and 12 seconds left in the game, and the ref's going to have to wait until this slow passage comes off in the 79th minute. A sin bin to the Jets. Taking a long time. It might be something like the Tagliolo, is it? Coming off the field. You can't tell till he turns around. Waiting for him to get off the field. Slow getting off the field. He's going to be made to sit on the naughty corner right in front of you there, Danny Free, and that takes a tap. These Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs, they've got a minute left in this game. And it's actually, has been put into the sin bin. And he won't get his first use of these showers because he's made to sit on the bench in front of us. Now Jeff Johnson has the ball for the Bulldogs. They're swinging it wide across the left-hand side. And then the ball's gone out to held out there by Matthew. And he's tackled only 5 metres short of the line. But they trail by 10, and there goes the sign in the background. The whistle goes in the background. They've got 36 seconds left according to the clock. Another penalty to the Milton-Ulladulla Bulldogs. So they've taken the tap quickly. The ref said no, slightly too quick. So you have to take it from the mark as well. So now they'll take the tap and the ball comes across to Jeff Johnson. And Jeff Johnson fires it across to Nick Salafia. And Salafia passes it on to Harry Myers. Harry Myers looks for the one-handed offload. 18 seconds left. They trail by 10. It looks like the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets are going to get away with this one. It comes out to the right-hand side. Through Salafia again. He's thrown a pass out to the right, which has gone about 3 metres forward. Drury calls it up. He'll play the forward pass. There's 5 seconds to go, and that will be all she wrote. And the Nowra-Bomaderry Jets are going to run out winners 26-16 here at Bill Hendrisky Mollymook Oval, Danny 3.
Yeah, it was an interesting second half. Actually, wasn't anything really to write home about except for the Sean Deeves try. But just too many mistakes from both teams. I the Bulldogs shot themselves in the foot. From my count, they led the penalty count in the second half 7-4, which gave them a 13-6 penalty count, Max. But I think probably, as you said, equal amount of errors.
At least that many.